Hey everyone and welcome. Today I wanted to do a special unboxing of the Star Wars Darth Vader Legacy Pack. It is part of the 40th anniversary figures that Hasbro will be releasing, and it's in the same style as the original early bird packaging that they had when the figures were coming out. And this packaging is pretty huge. It's hard for me to actually film it because of the size of it. But it's really cool. I mean, just looking at this packaging is awesome. I was able to grab this at a Target, and I was able to figure out a way to pick it up. And this thing is just cool because it's got an homage to all of the 12-back figures that you can see right here that they will be releasing this year. And I just wanted to be able to do a special unboxing on this because it's just a great packaging. As you can see, this is the front of it. It's got the 40th anniversary logo right up here. It's got all the figures that will be coming out later this year. We've already gotten more or less half of these figures, and they will be re-released, and another half of these will be coming out later on in June. And it's got the original Kenner logo and the designs here. It's got the look of how the new display stand will be for this figure, and it's got the new version of Darth Vader in the front. On the back of the packaging, it just shows you the same more or less thing of what's in the front. Here's the look of how the reverse of the back card will look when you open this and put the display stand. Here are all the figures that will be part of this 40th anniversary pack, and then all the individual figures down here. And as you can see, hopefully down here it says in June 2017 is hopefully when we will see the rest of the figures coming out. And here is the new Darth Vader that's based off of the A New Hope version, and it's pretty much called the special edition. So hopefully this figure starts to come out on its own without this whole packaging, because the packaging itself is almost twice the price of a regular figure. But it's actually worth it if you're a person like me who likes to display their figures. So let's open it up and look at the card, or the Darth Vader figure. Now here is the Darth Vader card back out of the box, and as you can see, it's done very nicely in terms of how originally Kenner released their figures in the 12-back original line. It's got the 40th anniversary logo down here. It's got the Kenner logo down there. It's got the original backing of, or the card back that was designed for the original 12-back figures. There was a little bit of a change, I believe, that I remember hearing somewhere on the card, only so that it can allow the 6-inch figure to be fit in. It's not 100% the same, it's just a little bit changed, but it's still great. You can see the back of the card right there. It's got all the figures the same as the box said, as it also says June 2017 will be the rest of the figures released, and it's got the all the 12 figures with the anniversary anniversary legacy pack in the back displayed. Now I'm hoping you guys can be able to see through just the packaging how well this head sculpt looks. I mean, side to side comparison to the original, or the original film version, it looks almost exactly the same. It is done so well. When I was actually picking this thing up, there was another one that I believe I was able to get a hold of and look at, and there's a little bit of a difference that you will notice if you just have them side by side. One of the figures, or the other Darth Vader figure, the eyes were a little bit more browner, and this one was a little bit more darker. So I went with one that was a little bit more darker, so that it looks more similar to what the original look of it was. But let's open this thing up and see how the figure really looks. And here is Darth Vader in all of his glory. I mean, this is a fantastic figure. I'm not sure if the camera's capturing it, but this thing is amazing. Now there was a couple of things that I was worried about. I mean, the cape itself was what I was really worried about, because I do make custom capes for my figures, as anybody that's seen any other of my videos. And this is something that's really impressive. They have made an improvement far beyond the last Darth Vader figure that they've come out with. And that's not to say that I still won't try to make my own, but this by itself is amazing for anybody who just likes to keep something so cool about it. Now, something I wanted to touch up on this that I don't think anybody has mentioned in any other of the reviews is if you were to look at the figure by itself, like really close, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but in the original film A New Hope from Star Wars, when they made the helmet for Darth Vader, the original color for Vader's helmet was all black. Now the problem was when they were filming it, none of it all was like hard to really film because it was all black and nothing popped out. So what they did after that was that they added some silver bits in the bottom of the cheek here and at the top of the cheek here in the original film. And this actually does have that. It's really hard to tell at first, but if you're really up close, you will see the silver bits right here on this cheek, whereas on this side of the cheek it's black, and the top portion right here it's silver or gunmetal, and the top portion here is black. It is amazing just looking at this thing, and I'm really glad I ended up getting the head sculpt with the darker brown eyes, because this looks even much better. I mean, this is a terrifying looking guy. I mean, just looking at him is just so cool. Now they did make changes to the box and the belt, because the original figure that came out was based off of the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So a lot of this is really changed, and it's really cool because this one's actually bigger. I will try and show you a comparison to another figure I have, and everything else seems to be a little bit more closer together, which is what the original version did look like. Everything was all bunched together, so it made him look so much, I want to say bigger, but it also made it seem so interesting. Now the shoulder pads on this was improved in a way that they're much more flushed downward as opposed to how it was more popped out, which didn't enable you to lift up the arm, where here, well, you can actually lift it up pretty far, which is pretty cool. And the arms have been slightly changed. They're much shorter, and the gloves have been also altered to make it look more of the original Hope. I really like this piece. I'm not sure if you can tell, but right here in the joint where it does the bend, there's also rivets on that joint piece, so that whichever position you have it, it'll look completely like the glove. That's really cool. That's really great attention to detail. And overall, like the boots, this part is all shiny, whereas the original sculpt, or the original figure that was released, it was more matted. And then the boots are textured to look more like actual leather boots, which is really cool, because now you can see, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but now you can see so much more of a difference. I mean, you can see even the reflection of me with the camera on the boots. That's how awesome it is. I'm not too I'm okay that it's not too shiny at the dome, only because in the film originally, I also think that they ended up changing where they made the dome not as shiny, because it was also losing its color, or it was also being lost in the background. So they made it a little bit more semi-gloss, and sometimes it looked like it was a little bit worn, so that it would at least capture the original sculpt of it and all. But look at this thing. It is amazing. That is awesome. Some other thing I didn't even realize when I was talking about the paint on the helmet itself is that there's also silver right here, like a gunmetal silver below the cheek on the side of the mouth, which is amazing because that is exactly how the original paint was on the helmet. And so what it does is that on this side it goes from black, silver, black, and then from here it's silver, black, silver. So I'm hoping you guys are able to see that. Apologize if I don't have really good lighting, but I think even this makes it look even better with this type of lighting. It makes it look more accurate to what it looked like. Darth Vader does come with his signature lightsaber, which is a little bit bigger than the original released one. It's more nicer. It's got a little bit more paint details with that little paint right there, and a little bit better sculpting. and it comes with its lightsaber. Well, the blade itself, which is a darker red, which is actually much more menacing than the original one, which looked a little bit more pinkish. But this one looks like it's much more scarier, and it easily does plug in, like so, as you can see. The only thing, I think this is not originally the original design of the lightsaber. I believe this is based off of The Empire Strikes Back. I might be wrong on that, because I believe that the little handles right here, where the grips are actually should be shorter, and then this should be right in the middle, and then that lightsaber will be out like that. But I think this looks more of similar to The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi design. But either way, it's so great because you can take it off, and it's got that little hook, and you can just hook it on his belt. It's a little tough, but once you get it, it's fine. I mean, he just has it there. Now, one of my concerns that I did have for this figure was whether or not this head sculpt or the helmet itself is one of those headpieces that Hasbro's been doing, where you connect to it and then you can't take it off. Because I am thinking about making another cape for this, one that would actually drape better. And so I wanted to show you guys, or anybody who's interested in knowing, that this is actually on a ball joint. It's hard to tell, but it's easily poppable. As you can see, there it is. The helmet comes off, which is kind of cool, because like, you can even have this like displayed by itself somewhere. And you put that aside for a moment. And as you can see, it's on a ball joint. So if anybody's interested in trying to put like the other head sculpts, or using this body for the other Vaders or something like that, or putting this on the original Vader that had like the Walgreens exclusive with the hand that attaches, it's not going to be able to happen, because as you can see, it's a ball joint in there. So unless you do some other kind of customization, that may not happen. But the thing that I'm really glad that this is able to do this, because now I can take off the cape, and you can see how big the cape is, and it is somewhat see-through. But I have a feeling that I am going to be making, well, I'm not going to have a feeling, I am going to be making a custom cape for this. So once I'm able to figure out a really good way of making that, and also possibly the cloak of Vader, I will post that up in a future video, so that you guys are able to do it if you want to. And we'll see how it happens from there. But for now, this is going to be my Vader with the cloak. And pop it back in. There you go. As you can see, that's our new and probably best Darth Vader. And here is the new Darth Vader from A New Hope compared to the original release with the removable helmet. This was customized and painted differently in the different robes, so it's not accurate to, and it doesn't stand as well, and it's not as accurate to what it was when it was originally released. However, you can see the subtle differences in the sculpting in terms of the box, and the differences in the belt, the boots, not sure if you can see the boots, and the arms. The articulation is more or less the same. It's got all the same joints around there. And one of the things that I really do love about this figure is that every other figure that's been released about Darth Vader, it's always somehow had this problem where the helmet seems to be going inside the chest armor, and that is not as great as it wish it could be, because then it just looks odd. Whereas this new helmet actually has it actually comes above the chest armor, which allows you to do a lot more interesting poses, and it just holds a cape right there, so it's really cool. And something that some people would say that they may argue, or may just not be happy with, is that the paint job may not be as good as or shiny as they want it to be. However, in the original film, the chest piece was dirty, and it wasn't always painted right, because of course when they did film that film, they didn't have that it didn't have that great of a budget, and so it didn't look as great, which is why it looks always beat up. but I like to think of it as a sort of like battle damage. Whereas afterwards, when they came out in the Empire and Return of the Jedi, they cleaned it up, they made it more shinier, much more nicer. But to me, this is just definitive Darth Vader. The first appearance of him is just menacing. So this is awesome. What's really cool too about the improvement on the hands, at least, is that even though this finger, or this hand, looks like it's a force choke and it kind of looks like a trigger finger, but it still looks pretty cool as a force choke, it is still sculpted in a way so that you can actually grip the lightsaber with it. So you got two hands that can grip really well the lightsaber, instead of just having one hand and the other one slightly open like the original version. But this is so cool. Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me today and checking out this video on the new Darth Vader from Hasbro Black Series. This is an amazing figure, and I really think anybody who's a big Star Wars fan that's collecting the 6-inch line, this is a got-to-get figure. There's no way you gotta pass this up. If you guys like the video, please press like, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them on the video below, and have a good day.